Hello you beautiful nerds of the world, Taurock at your service, and welcome to another reaction of Death Battle. This time we're having Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Makima from Chainsaw Man, which is a very popular matchup that's been growing in popularity these last few months, and like since the beginning of the year really. I know it was a Death Battle cast, it was really interesting, and that's all I can say. Yes, as you can probably guess, I'm pulling out the hot chocolates. That means I don't know jack shit about these characters, and I'm not gonna pretend I do. I've only heard about Chainsaw Man way back when, before it was an anime. I've heard about the manga via a YouTuber I used to watch, and I can't even pretend I've heard of Jujutsu Kaisen because like the first time I've heard of Jujutsu Kaisen is via Death Battle when people were talking about this matchup specifically. You know, and anime and me, it's like two very separate entities, I'm sorry. Especially like modern animes. I didn't even want to jump into a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man just to familiarize myself with these characters. Like I usually do with like Demon Slayer, like I did with Magical Index and whatever. I didn't even try because I felt like the less I know about these characters, the more exciting I get for this matchup. I don't know, I'm looking forward to learn a lot of complex anime shenanigans, which is apparently this matchup is very much about. I don't really know the full extent of these characters' potential. I don't even know who would win. I don't even know who I'm really rooting for. Like, it's gonna be new stuff. It's gonna be new stuff for me, and I'm kind of down for it. Question of the day. Back in Killua vs. Misaka, I've asked what was your favorite anime, like in general, that hasn't been on Death Battle yet. And this time, you know, I do a similar question, but it's kind of a twist of what's an anime you want to see in Death Battle that hasn't been on Death Battle yet. It could be Fate, it could be D. Gray Man, it could be, well, One Piece has already been on Death Battle, but you know, things like that. But this time, I think I'm gonna ask it with more details, like what's a matchup you want to see with this particular franchise that hasn't been on Death Battle yet, possibly. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm just excited to learn about some anime shenanigans. I'm gonna have my brain working at like 3,000 rounds a second, I'm sure. And it's gonna be fun. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, whatever.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Ah!
Satoru Gojo, Jujutsu Kaisen Sorcerer Sensei.
Let's go.
Chainsaw Man's head of Tokyo Public Safety.
These two paranormal mentors are so strong that they change the very worlds they exist in.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's
So
our
I've
job
dropped
to
in
analyze
found weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a Death Battle. Oh, I'm excited.
Japan, December 7th, 1989. Satoru Gojo was born, and the world changed.
And in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, invisible, cursed spirits born from negativity threaten humanity.
So it's up to the Jujutsu sorcerers to do battle with them.
And what better way to learn the trade than to sign up for Tokyo Jujutsu High?
At this institution, a sorcerer will learn to harness their cursed energy, or the spiritual manifestation of intense emotion.
It's like Ki, but if Ki desperately needed therapy.
With it, sorcerers can boost their physicality and perform devastating curse techniques. Anything from voodoo dolls to swapping places with mere claps.
And lucky for
Okay.
humanity,
This like
Satoru
Kenjaku
Gojo
alcohol
is the
higher
best
ups
sensei a
among
sorcerer
us.
could ask for.
Gojo
Ghetto.
isn't just the best,
Nah.
he's known as the strongest. His very birth
He likes
forced his
Digimon,
rank of
huh?
curses to exponentially
Based?
rise. Like witnessing a world record get broken, cursed society shifted to match the might of Gojo's presence.
As a kid,
Damn.
Gojo knew he was the shit. He mastered the art of the Riz, the hoops, and the curse murdering, all alongside Suguru Geto, his sorcerer BFF.
Together, they planned on changing Jujutsu society for the better.
And if anyone could do it, Gojo could. Thanks to his bloodline, he got one of the most busted anime powers ever, Limitless.
Limitless grants Gojo a nigh-perfect defense by actualizing the very concept of infinity.
It creates an infinite space around himself, stopping anything coming his way. The dude is literally untouchable.
Kind of. Gojo tailored Limitless to automatically detect an object's mass and velocity. As the difference between himself and an object decreases, Limitless halves the object's velocity. It's like Zeno's paradox.
Think of it this way. If you're trying to get from point A to point B, first you gotta go
Yeah, I've heard of
halfway,
this
then you
theory.
gotta go another halfway, then
Or like
another
the paradox.
halfway, and so on. With Limitless, you'll never arrive. Just like my
That's a good explanation of his powers.
Infinity. Yeah, it might sound complicated, but it basically creates a spatial force field around Gojo at all times.
Techniques on this level would burn out other sorcerers in seconds. That's where Gojo's incredible 6 eyes come in. They let him see and near perfectly control cursed energy at the atomic level. So
Atomic level. Sounds important.
In a fight. He isn't just built different, he was born different.
6 Eyes and Limitless gave Gojo the
That's a
power
lot.
to manipulate space itself. Gojo's Lapse Blue technique attracts and condenses space into singularities.
Oh.
With Reversal Red, Gojo does the opposite, repelling space. Think
Okay.
push and pull. But you may be asking, how does one accomplish this with cursed energy? With math!
Let's go! Yeah! Math!
Cursed energy is typically negative, like with blue, but when multiplied by itself, negative cursed energy becomes positive, creating red.
Oh, strawberry and blueberry.
So, what happens when you combine a positive and a negative?
Grape?
0. By combining Reversal
He makes
Red
void?
and Lapse Blue, Gojo creates Hollow Purple, an enormous ball of curse energy that literally applies the concept of 0 to an opponent, crushing and repelling them into nothing.
Gojo's a walking cursed Swiss Army knife. Levitation, teleportation, even...
Does that bypass
Limitless
durability?
enemies. Gojo can also use positive energy to heal humongous wounds, and he's constantly refreshing his brain with it 24/7 to keep up with all of this.
Still, there's one
Okay.
technique that costs more cursed energy than anything else in a sorcerer's repertoire.
Every sorcerer is born with an innate domain, a mental world shaped by their mind and heart.
Add cursed energy to it, and these domains can be manifested physically, a technique called domain expansion.
Every sorcerer worth their salt needs one, and you know damn well Gojo has the scariest, unlimited void. You get caught in this, your ass is grass.
Exposure to unlimited void overloads your consciousness with a stream of infinite information. A mere
Ooh.
fifth of a second of exposure can leave a normal person in a vegetated state for months.
Too bad it requires so much energy you can only do it like once a day. Oh wait, except for Gojo, who has done it multiple times in a row. Thanks again.
Yeah.
6 Eyes.
Quite frankly, Gojo was getting so strong that the axis of the Jujutsu world began to turn on him. Like the meta of a fighting game defined by one broken character, he defined the hierarchy of power in the sorcerer world. He alone was the honored one.
His mere presence can cause earthquakes. He outran sonic explosions and applied cursed energy within a microsecond.
Gojo
Damn,
has been
Max
repeatedly
2000,
stated by
200.
many to be the strongest sorcerer there is.
That includes his ex-student Hikari, who can dodge lightning, or this little volcano-headed curse, Jogo, the embodiment of humanity's fear of fire, who can
Ooh.
bring down city-shattering meteors, and Gojo kicked his ass with 0 effort.
But strength alone was not enough to fix his cursed world. When Geto rejected Jujutsu Society to forge his own justice, Gojo's philosophy changed. Instead of doing everything himself, he would teach a new generation of sorcerers to carry the torch when he could not.
It's all about setting an example. If it means a world where his companions can stand shoulder to shoulder as equals, who cares if he's gotta show off a bit?
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored
Okay,
by
that's very,
HelloFresh.
very interesting. Let me lower the volume a bit for the ad. Okay, max 200, maybe lightning speed. Kill it 100 kilotons of TNT. Does Hollow Purple, act sort of like antimatter, where matter and nothingness meets? So it's literally 0. It turns everything into 0. That seems like it bypass any forms of durability. Can be interesting. And you can spam, and there's also the dimension that just fries your brain. And he can resist mind control by rewinding his brain. Kinda cool. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to save everything. Now on to Makima.
The sun is shining, the birds are singing.
And on days like these, kids like you should be burning in hell. Sorry.
Millions are dead. Dear God,
Sorry, my mouse is doing shenanigans.
Calm down, there's no reason to panic. It's just that in the world of Chainsaw Man, devils exist, and your fear makes them stronger. Never mind, panic.
Remember that spider you shrieked at, or the last time you cut yourself dicing onions? Now the spider and knife devils are the monstrous products of your nightmares, and they hate you specifically.
The fearsome gun devil stood as the epitome of terror and destruction, and was responsible for a countless loss of lives. But a group was formed to combat it and the other devils that plagued humanity. The Devil Hunters.
Live in Japan and get yourself a pesky zombie problem? It's time to call the 4th Division of the Public Safety Devil Extermination.
A government-funded devil hunter unit led by a stone-cold vixen, Makima.
She's dressed like Columbo with a blank stare and a sadistic streak. She's been in the game for a while and just found herself a new prize.
The union of man and pet devil dog, Denji, the Chainsaw Man. Upon meeting him, she gave him a choice. Live under her as a human dog, or die by her hand as a devil.
Sounds sketch, but Denji's brain was set to teenage boy and Makima's hot. So in short order, Makima got a new pet.
Makima may seem terrifying.
It's okay, I would.
But she
I would
is
too.
A dog lover and a cinephile.
Yeah.
You'd be ill-advised to mess with her.
Sure, for her position, you'd expect her to know how to defend herself. Martial arts here, swordplay there, but devil hunters like Makima become real threats when they make contracts with devils. A classic Faustian bargain. Give something of yourself. The devil gives you power.
She can call death upon anyone she chooses through a complicated ritual, and even survive being shot through the head.
Because, as they say in the devil hunter world, you need your screws loose to live.
But she might have more than a few screws loose, because, in actuality, Makima is a devil herself.
Let's go.
There's no way this clearly evil character could be a villain in disguise.
The Japanese government has been keeping a close eye on Makima ever since she was born. Rightfully so. She isn't some F-tier scrub like the Bat or Leech Devils. She's the Control Devil, embodying humanity's collective fear of the oppressor. In a way, she's even more terrifying than the Gun Devil.
Makima can exert absolute mental control over any creature she views as inferior to her, which is basically everyone. People, animals, even other devils become puppets under her command. She can even hijack their senses to listen and see whatever she wants.
As a devil, Makima's far stronger, faster, and more durable than the average person.
Plus, her metabolism lets her slam down as many beers as she wants to. So, Makima, if you're into countlessly divorced alcoholic rednecks, you know who to call.
By drinking blood, she can heal her injuries. And her sense of smell is so potent that it can spot targets from over 300 miles away.
Not only can she control your mind, but your body too with telekinesis. She can mess up your internal organs or blow you away with finger guns. She doesn't shoot you with invisible bullets. She points at you and then a wound just happens out of nowhere. She controls all sorts of things with these ghostly chains that stab her victims. Once they're hooked, they're easier to control.
Makima has plenty of devils in her collection. There's the massive Fox Devil, the Future Devil for precognition, and a ton of devils that exist just to stab you.
But I'm definitely all about the blow shit up devil, the undead party devil, the flamethrower devil, and the unholy matrimony that's the angel devil, which will make you see God before you die.
After about the 20th time, seeing God gets kind of old.
Yeah.
Anyway, like other devils, Makima can form contracts with people to give them power.
But unlike other devils, her control powers allow her to force people into contracts that exclusively benefit her.
Like when she forced Japan's prime minister into a contract that states, and I quote, any attack made on her will be changed into appropriate illnesses or accidents among Japanese citizens.
What?
The verbiage of Makima's
I've heard of that.
Specifically so that she quickly heals from any damage that is perceived to be an attack, transferring said damage to some poor random citizen of Japan.
Oh man, imagine like taking a shit and Makima gets hit and whoops, guess you're wiping at the pearly gates.
With these abilities and contracts, Makima set out to create the world that she wanted. No more pain, no more war, no more bad movies. The world would be perfect, but she needed the Chainsaw Devil to do so, who just so happened to be living as Denji's heart.
Yep, that cute doggo is actually the Chainsaw Devil. Oh, talk about shitty luck, kid.
In the depths of hell, Makima watched in awe as the Chainsaw Devil literally ate devils and eradicated plagues from existence. Because of the Chainsaw Devil, in this world, concepts like nuclear bombs, HIV, and even Nazis do not exist.
Let's go! I love this world. Nazis don't exist in Chainsaw Man.
However, as Makima didn't see Denji or the Chainsaw Devil as beneath her, she could not directly control him. She needed to manipulate him. So she decided to build Denji up and then tear him down as cruelly as possible.
First, she murdered Denji's found family one by one.
Then she made Chainsaw Man into a public hero, stripping him of the power devils receive by being feared.
Oh, so she could control her precious Chainsaw Devil and make him press backspace on anything she didn't like.
Her telekinetic bangs shot the Chainsaw Devil out of orbit, and they stalemated the Darkness Devil, which embodies humanity's greatest fears.
Makima's stronger than devils like the Bomb Devil, who can easily blow up buildings, or the Typhoon Devil, which made city-spanning storms.
And while fighting the Gun Devil Fragment, this large behemoth moved over 300 miles in a few seconds.
She was pretty much unbeatable, though ultimate power can make it pretty lonely at the top.
Makima's quest may have been to make the world a better place through domination, but the truth she was never willing to admit to herself was that she really wanted to understand human emotion. After all, you can't control someone and love them at the same time.
Too bad she never quite found the answer she was looking for when the Chainsaw Man defeated her once and for all by cutting her to pieces, cooking her into a 7-course feast, and fucking ate her?
Believe it or not, the love Makima tried to understand was her undoing. Despite the hell she put him through, Denji still loved Makima in his own way. So the act of devouring her was its own act of love and did not count as an attack, bypassing her immortality.
Completely batshit insane. That's Chainsaw Man for you. Who knows, Wiz? Eventually, the Control Devil will come back, though it won't be Makima.
While her path back to hell was paved with good intentions, in the world of devils, it's no surprise that Makima came so close to her ideal future.
Okay. I'm just gonna... Prediction time, normally, hopefully. It's hard to make it's hard to figure out who wins because of Makima's own powers. We don't know... I don't know... Is her capacity to affect people from the inside, and the death ritual and thing to crush them from the inside, is it a psychic thing? Is it a spiritual thing? Is it something? The chains could maybe work, because I've read something on the corner that the chains that she used to control people are intangible, basically. So, is it enough to bypass the concept of infinity, the infinity shield why am I confusing name? Gojo. That Gojo has. I thought of funny hacks of how the Gojo's infinity shield thing could be bypassed, and you need to be incalculably fast, which Makima clearly isn't. I've not heard Makima. I haven't heard Makima dodging things like lightning or stuff like that, or beams of light. So Gojo seems to be faster than anything. The hollow purple is really interesting because it would... I wonder if it works kind of like the antimatter that Megatron had, where it's it reduces everything to 0. So it basically annihilates on an atomic level, subatomic level even. And it annihilates every single part of your being, basically. Mind control, I don't think mind control would work on Gojo, because he basically reboots his brain every so often. Would Gojo's how is it called? The void, his domain. His domain expansion, whatever. which is like the infinite void that fills you with too much info in your brain. I haven't paid attention to Makima's mind. Well, Makima could have... Well, she can have control of Gojo, I feel, but only for a few seconds. Which could be good to, like, immobilize him. Even if it's like a short term. Even if it's for a short moment, you know, it's still a moment that could be used to gain an advantage somewhat. And she's said to be more powerful. Okay, she's on par with the Devil King or something, who embrace like all the fears. And these fears often include like nuclear bombs. So I can scale it to that, maybe? Not sure. But even with that, I feel like Gojo could accumulate... is in the kiloton, which is definitely in the nuke department, and like can block meteors or something. I feel like I haven't paid enough attention. This sounds like a complex matchup, and I haven't even mentioned like Makima's wound transferring thing. Gojo's technically Japanese, but I don't know if it's... He's not from the same world, so I don't think he's gonna be... I don't think it's gonna affect. I don't think she's gonna transfer her wounds to Gojo. That would be a bit busted. It's something to keep in the corner of my mind. If they say yes, then, you know, Makima would automatically win, because, like, if Gojo, like, purple hollow her out of existence, and then, or like out of existence, but like suppress her entire body, and then Gojo, and then she transfer all the wounds to Gojo, that would work, you know. But I don't think it's gonna work that way. I don't think it's gonna work that way. It's not the same universe. So, you know, if they do say yes, she could transfer her wounds to Gojo because he's technically Japanese, then she would automatically win, but I don't... But, or if no... For some reason, I feel like Gojo has a lot of staff. It has a lot of stats. It could be a big war of attrition. I don't know. My only problem is I don't know how Makima's powers work exactly, because Gojo is very detailed. Gojo seems to be very detailed. He has his concept of infinity can be applied at the atomic level. It reduces the velocity of things as they get close to him. I don't know if Makima's ritual have to be physical things. Like, is it a mental thing? Is it a spiritual thing? Is it a physical thing? Because if it's a physical thing, then it would work. But if it's something that would just spontaneously happen, I feel like Gojo would be in a lot of trouble. I don't think we have seen a lot of stats for Makima, which is curious. I wonder if she doesn't have a little more power than Gojo, which could be good enough to overwhelm him? Maybe? I don't think I understood. Well, you can technically kill her by not wounding her. Okay, that could be interesting. Would the hollow purple be considered hurt? You know what I mean? Well, it push and pulls. It push and pulls, so it technically tears through anything. It would be considered a wound. This is a complicated matchup. That's complicated. I knew going into this that I'm probably not gonna be able to to guess a winner just like in 10 minutes. I think it's already been too long since I've been predicting. I need to come up with something. Gojo's faster. I think Gojo's faster, has more mental resistances, could bypass Makima's any form of durability. I don't know if he can erase her from, like, the good way to kill Makima would be to erase her from existence, like, entirely, kind of like what Denji did. You need to kill her with love, like as an act of love or respect. That was very fucked up how she died. I feel like Gojo's got a hacks that I don't know of. Maybe... Could he kill her mentally? With the infinite dimension, the domain, with his mental domain, basically. For some reason, I feel like Makima... I'm seeing some advantages for Makima, but it's more because I don't understand her powers. And, like, she can basically attack Gojo from the inside. But I don't know if she has to will herself inside someone. I don't know if you I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. It's like, does she have to project her control over, like, something? Does it have to be physical? Does she have to project her control on people? Or is it something that is, like, instantly created with, like, from the inside of Gojo? Like, does it have... Basically, does her rituals and stuff like that have to bump into the infinity thing? Which I'm not sure I'm not sure that's how it works. It seems to be something internal. So she could theoretically bypass the infinity with some, like, death ritual and stuff. Gojo has an insane healing factor too. He can use his infinity thing, or I don't know what it was, but he can apparently, like, regrow entire limbs. So I don't know if he could. I don't know if he would be power. I don't know if his healing would be potent enough to be, like, crushed into nothingness like Makima does to people. And there's the whole mind control thing. Again, I'm going back to the mind control thing. Even with Gojo being able to reset his brain, which is very useful. How many seconds is there between his a rebrain reboots, a reboot of his brain? Because, like, if his brain reboots every 10 seconds, well, he's gonna get controlled. That still gives Makima 10 seconds to do something about Gojo. And with her chains being intangible and things, and with apparently she can like summon demons at her side. The only way I can see it is this like for Gojo to be overwhelmingly more powerful, and he could potentially kill her, like kill her like how many times there are Japanese people. Genocide is a win condition in this instance. I feel like Gojo has a hacks that I'm not aware of. And well, Gojo has a lot of defensive options. They both have some form of like regeneration. Given that Makima's regeneration would be limited to how many Japanese people there are, and there's a lot, Gojo's own regeneration is tied to his cursed energy, which seems to be limitless. No pun intended. And it works on the atomic level, but I don't know how. I don't know if Makima has like anything subatomic that could work on Gojo. So. Because of that, maybe Gojo has more survivability because of that. And he's got more destructive potential with the purple thing that could nullify durability all on its own, you know? Makima didn't seem to have any new stats, so apparently maybe she's more powerful? I know Gojo's the general consensus, apparently, but it can really go either way, so I'm curious to see the result, no matter what, but there's a lot of things that I don't understand, but for all I'm seeing now, I'm gonna go for Gojo, because I feel like the stats are at his side. He has a way to nullify durability. My only problem is, does Makima have any mind resistances on her own, of her own? Yeah, I don't think Makima has any mind resistances, so maybe Gojo could afflict her? Well, I'm gonna go for Gojo. I think I want to go Gojo, but I'm really not sure this can go either way. I can see my loss. I can see my loss on the side. I can see my loss over here, but yeah, let's just go for Gojo. Alright, 3, 2, 1, click! Right, the commands are set! Hit the gritty! Hit the gritty!
Just a couple of rules for a unique fight like this one.
We'll be considering curses and devils to be comparable beings to avoid arbitrary terminology in their power systems that might make this fight incompatible. We will also consider Gojo and Makima citizens of the same Japan to balance it out.
That's a very important information! Makima wins! I feel like Makima's gonna win. Money's on Makima. Probably also gonna lose, but 3, 2, 1. Go! This is... No, you know? No, don't.
In the depths of hell, Makima watched in...
I don't know, there was a glitch. I don't like the... Ooh, there was a big glitch. Excuse me.
We'll be considering curses and devils to be comparable beings to avoid arbitrary terminology in their power systems.
I hate when Devereaux does this, where there's like, it's time before this, they do the closing, but then there's another info that's being dropped, and it makes me jump for the other character. This happened with Excalibur and Excalibur Raiden. No, you know, I'm gonna stick to Gojo. But I feel like Makima could win. Just because Gojo is Japanese. Just because Gojo is Japanese, that would affect him. He still has ways to win by doing like mental stuff, but that's more complicated this time. And curse energy and devil are similar being, which makes sense. They are both entities of they are very similar spiritual, like they are very similar energies. Which, you know, I like this crossover. Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man seem to have like very similar universes where powers draw from negative emotions and whatsoever. But with that said, Makima could win. I stick to Gojo. Fuck you. I'm sticking to Gojo. I'm sorry.
That might make this fight incompatible. We will also consider... Gojo and Makima citizens of the same Japan to balance it out.
It's
Time for a death battle! Alright, now, an abnormal cursed incident was reported to local Tokyo, Japan mall. Satoru Gojo was dispatched.
Love this part. Could have been some flicks right about now.
And yes, I know there's Alex Mercer and Darth Vader in the back.
Gotta kill you instead. Can't just let a curse do as they please.
Fight!
No talking during the movie.
This is where the sneak peek ends. Chains. Okay. Some zombies. Ooh. Ooh.
Curse technique laps.
Bloop. Ooh. Singularity. Sword! Yeah, doesn't work that way.
Womp womp.
Bang! Ew!
Careful. I could have died, but that much won't matter to you soon.
Don't worry. I'm Satoru Gojo, the strongest.
Confident, strong, and idiotic. We'll be sure to write it on your tombstone.
Bang. Okay, you can break those. Yeah, bunch of swords! Bunch of spears.
Calm.
Ugh. Oh, the hand-drawn is so beautiful. Ah! Full gore?
We don't kill you too quickly.
That should be good, since you're so weak.
Bang.
Ugh. Yeah, it works internally. Bang!
Bang.
Bang!
Bang.
Bang! You can regrow that, that's okay. Nah.
Be a good boy and play dead.
Yeah, domain expansion.
Bark too. I'm getting really tired of your pets.
Yeah!
Domain expansion. Unlimited void.
Ah! Too much in the brain, too much in the brain, too much in the brain, die!
And Earth, I alone am the honored one.
Die! Satoru Gojo eliminated the one known as the Control Demon. I don't know what it is.
So do you think that place
Yeah!
discounted tickets or too soon? Yeah, I'll order online.
Gojo and Makima were complicated to compare. On the surface level, Gojo had a lot going for him.
It's no surprise, given that his reputation in Jujutsu Kaisen is that of its pinnacle. At least it was.
First of all, it's unlikely Makima would see Gojo as inferior to her, in a similar way to how she saw Denji. So she wouldn't be able to immediately control Gojo.
Gojo
Would she? I mean, she doesn't necessarily know Gojo, so I don't...
To how she saw Denji. So
Or maybe it's because, well, she doesn't know Gojo, so would she believe? Would she believe anyone is on her same level? Anyway, sorry. To use control, Makima has historically needed to prove herself superior. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, to foes like the Gun Devil, Kwangxi, and technically Reze, she would likely need to do the same for Gojo. Okay, she needs to prove herself superior first. Okay, that makes more sense. Excuse me, continue.
she wouldn't be able to immediately control Gojo.
Gojo's birth caused a giant shift in the world of curses. Plenty of people have recognized that after only seeing him once. Being better than everyone is literally Gojo's thing.
Plus, Gojo automatically
Oh, that's also true. Gojo broke out of enemy's flower field. A mind control technique that drains foes. that drains foes' will to fight. He could do the same against control, as Power and the Angel Devil have done before.
He refreshes his brain with positive cursed energy
That makes
24/7.
sense.
Even if Makima could control him, it wouldn't last very long.
Gojo was obviously stronger too. The best feat we can compare Makima to is the Typhoon Devil's Storms, but that's nothing compared to the meteor created by Jogo.
Yeah, more
who's
power.
below Gojo in strength.
Sorry. Given leeway, Makima and Gojo could scale to the Falling Devil's gravity manipulation and Yuki's black hole, respectively. Regardless, raw power would still favor Gojo.
However, considering she reacted to the Gun Devil fragment, Makima would actually be a bit faster.
Ah!
She would need to be able to get past Limitless for her speed to matter.
Makima had more devils than you can shake a fin at.
Is that a devil, or is that... It looks like Kilgore from Killer Instinct. I'm sorry. A sorcerer's body acts as a domain, preventing foreign objects from being created inside of them. This counters the Mold Devil's ability to form mold within others' bodies. I don't know about that, but sure.
But most were rendered moot.
Her speed to matter.
Makima had more devils than you can shake a fin at, but most were rendered moot against Limitless. Knives, fire, bombs, zombies, it's all stuff Gojo's dealt with before.
Yeah.
And with zero issues.
And Gojo could easily wipe out her demonic crowd with red and blue whenever he wanted to.
The future devil could clue her in on anything nasty coming her way, but that wouldn't last forever. Plus, with Gojo's 6 eyes and teleportation, she had zero opportunities to break away and set up her instant kill moves.
But
Oh.
Gojo would obviously lose if he couldn't permanently kill Makima. Six Eyes couldn't inform him of Makima's contract with the Prime Minister, and eventually one of Gojo's attacks could cause his death instead, even if it took a while.
And Makima did have a way past Limitless with her finger guns. Makima could land attacks directly on Gojo's body.
There you
meaning
go.
There's no projectile for Limitless to detect and infinitely slow down.
Though when they did land, Gojo's healing ensured that he repaired his body quickly.
On the flip side, Makima didn't have a counter to Gojo's domain expansion. Unlimited Void overloads its target with unlimited information. It's
That's what I thought
not
too.
really an attack.
You could call it an attack on the senses, but even if she could transfer it to other Japanese citizens, she still could not escape an infinite amount of information.
We can compare this to the Doll Devil, who was defeated by a technique similar to Unlimited Void.
Despite being able to transfer her mind across a large number of hosts, the Doll Devil was still trying to transfer infinite information across finite people. Even with all of Japan as mental meat shields, Makima would still be overwhelmed.
Wait, doesn't that mean Gojo just unintentionally killed basically everyone in Japan?
Yes.
Think about it. Regardless, Gojo is immune to his own Unlimited Void, so he was still unaffected.
Good for him. The moment Unlimited Void landed, Makima would be stuck, opening her up for a good old Hollow Purple.
Hollow Purple's convergence and divergence crushes and atomizes matter. It does not remove them from existence. Never mind them. Evident by Toji's revival in Shibuya, where he still existed.
Unlimited Void landed, Makima would be stuck, opening her up for a good old Hollow Purple.
Her contract isn't perfect. Makima only ever regenerated as long as there was some mass to come back from.
But Hollow Purple disintegrates anything it touches to zero. Literally.
Yeah, to
There's
zero.
no way she was regenerating from that.
Yeah.
Control as a concept will always exist, but a reincarnation of the Control Devil isn't Makima. This was one of the craziest fights we've ever had. However, with Gojo's raw power, broken counters, and unbelievably busted Limitless, Makima lost control over this fight.
Makima thought she had Gojo by the ball and chain, but in the end, she was left hollow.
The winner is
Satoru Gojo! Let's go, let's go. That was a cool fight. That was a very impressive fight. I don't have a lot to say. I like the banter. This was a very, very unique episode in how they analyzed things and how they analyzed everything, and how they handled the rules. Basically, this was a solid episode. The hand drawn is remarkable. The hand drawn parts of this fight was really beautiful at some part. The banter is kind of cool. A lot of shit was going on, and a lot of it that I didn't necessarily understand. Solid episode. Yeah, the showings of like citizens just spontaneously dying. Sorry, I got nothing to say about this episode. It was very good. It was very kind of fun. I learned a lot of stuff, which was fun. And it was fun to like predict and like have a puzzle, or like have a little like the code, decipher the codes a little bit about these two's powers. This was a very unique battle, is all I can say. I don't know if I would call it like the best of the season, even the best after Billcord, but it's just really cool. You know, that was just dope. Just move on to next time on Death Battle already. 3, 2, 1, click. Having a bit of a delay for some reason.
And hey,
yeah, you're welcome. I am.
We've got a ballot going on right now where members get to choose a matchup for the
I'm
next
participating.
season. So click that join
Yay.
button and jump into our champions Discord.
Next time on Death Battle. Bets. Oh, Scooby-Doo versus. Courage the Cowardly Dog? That is a matchup. That is definitely a matchup that I know things about, I guess. Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog. That is a thing. No, you know, I'm not even gonna say what I'm about to say. It's gonna be a. Oh, this is the Halloween episode. This is the real Halloween episode. That can be very fun. Oh, sorry. I'm kind of mind blown by these revelations. Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog. I mean, there's definitely something. This sounds like a lot of fun. I think it's, well, I wouldn't say it's the first time they do an episode about... I wouldn't exactly call these characters fighters. I don't know about Courage, but I don't know about Courage enough to see like if he's got an arsenal or something, but this is definitely a stranger one. I'm just gonna say. Just let me rewatch the trailer just to believe it, to make sure it's not a fever dream I'm having. Okay. That sounds like it just sounds like the wackiest death battle. So you know what? I'll get it. This is gonna be it's gonna be a fun time in 2 weeks. I'm looking forward for it. Let me just check something real quick. Oh, November 6th. They're still not showing like the dates for a premiere. So the premiere system, basically when you're a first member on Rooster Teeth or a YouTube member, you could watch this episode like a day early, which was usually on Sunday, and now they're doing apparently tests because there's something wacky with YouTube. And so there was no premiere for this fight, which is why I'm watching the YouTube version. But it seems like the premiere was the problem. So I don't know how I'm gonna be able to handle this for future reactions, because like Monday is still a big day. So Monday is still a big day for me. So it's gonna be tough, but we'll figure it out. Thank you so much for watching this reaction of Death Battle. What did you thought of this episode? What did you... shit. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments. Don't forget the question of the day. What's an anime you want to see in Death Battle that hasn't been in Death Battle yet? And Let me know who you think is gonna win between Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Again, I'm still having trouble to believe this is the next episode. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers on the channel, so if you could like share this video, share the message, if you could like this video, and of course subscribe and hit the bell, that would mean a ton for me. Thank you again so much for watching. That was Taurock at your service, and I'll see you later. I don't know why I spoke like that, but I guess it's the tone now. Help! I am speaking like Skeletor now.